This is Josh Sherman, and this video is going to talk about how to get the test automation running for Node.js. A package called Jasmine runs the test, and we also have a package called Istanbul, which provides a test coverage report. So let's start from the beginning. And in order to get the tests running, we needed to install the proper packages. So if we edit our package.json file, we can see that we have included Istanbul here and Jasmine node here. So once those are included in our package.json file, and we also changed the this line of code here to use Istanbul to produce a coverage report using Jasmine node, and this is the file for the tests. Under our spec folder, we have a describe spec.js file here where we can write our tests. We would simply come over here to our command line after we have navigated to the folder where our code is located, our project folder, and we would type npm install. I've already installed the packages, so we're not going to see anything here. But in the case where you haven't installed it, those packages will install. So now that all the packages are installed to our computer, we can use this test to run the test. So the command here would be npm test. And when we run the test, you can see that it is running the test and it gives us a coverage report. So we can navigate to view the coverage report by going to where it says here is the location for the coverage report, which is located here, and then local report, and then the index file here. So now if I copy the full path and open up a browser, let's go ahead and go with Chrome this time. Oops, no, that's not what I wanted. I want Chrome. Should be able to paste the full path into Chrome once it opens. And no, I don't want that. To paste the full path, and we should see now that the Against Humanity test coverage okay, asking for my password again. Okay, we should see that we are at 95% coverage here. Okay, so back to what I was talking about before. In the test, the test is under specs and describe game spec. So if we find the test that I wrote, which was, we wanted to know what happens if a player leaves the game, we can see that there's a 4-player game, and we can see that a player leaves during the game. This is the test that I wrote here, so we will comment this one out. And, oops. Okay, so now if I save this and I come over here to the command line and notice that I am in the correct folder of the project now. Okay. And I now type npm test, we should see that our coverage now has gone down to 70%, which is what I was expecting to see. And if we refresh we can see the coverage has gone down. If we go into the games and we refresh, we should see some functions that are not being tested. For example, depart game was not being tested, which is why we created that test to begin with. We noticed that when we ran the tests, there was nothing being tested for this depart game. And so using this function, we created this test. So let's uncomment out the test. So we describe the test as player leaves during the game. So this is a player here departing the game. We are going to test the depart game. So game depart game is what's being tested. Okay, right here. This is the function depart game. It takes in a game ID and a player ID. So we put in the game ID and current game.player of 0, because we know that we have 4 players. It's an array of players. We have 0, 1, 2, and 3. So we're taking the ID of the first player in the game, and we're going to depart that player from the game. So we first have an expectation that there is currently 4 players in the game. After we run this function of game depart game, we are expecting that the current game number of players is going to be 3. This is the syntax that is used for running the test. So let's go ahead and run the test. Come back over here, we type npm test. Run the test. You can see oh, sorry about that, I did not save. Now it is saved. Now npm test, and you can see coverage is now back up to 96%. And if we come back to the coverage report here, you can see that coverage is back up. And if we go into here and look, we can see that depart game function has been covered mostly, except for this remove from array game, which occurs if there are no players left in the game. It kills the game. So that could be another test that we can